You heard it 1,000 times. Just start. Start where you are with what you've got, and the next step will be obvious once you take the first one. If it really is that simple though, why does it still feel impossible to start? Well, don't worry, I've been there too, and I'm going to break it down for you. You're not going to get a motivation boost, but 2 tangible ways to actually start creating value. One of them has already worked for me, and the other is a work in progress by definition. By the end of the video, you'll figure out which one's for you and know exactly how to just start. Now let's actually start. I had a decent career in tech until I decided to do my own thing and start this channel. I worked as a PM for about 4.5 years. No one likes a braggart, but I have to make this point, so please bear with me. I wanted to do product management after graduation in 2019. I only chose this path because I liked uncovering the actual reason behind a problem someone was facing and solving it so thoughtfully that they couldn't help but fall in love with it. In technical terms, I enjoyed figuring out the jobs to be done. Here's a famous example for you to understand the concept. In the late 90s, McDonald's attempted to boost milkshake sales by adjusting its attributes like sweetness and thickness based on customer feedback, but the sales stayed pretty much the same, so they hired Clayton Christensen's team. The team sat in the parking lot for 18 hours and watched who was buying milkshakes and why. They found out that half of the milkshakes were sold early in the morning. The people who bought them were always alone, never bought anything else, and always drove off with it. Long story short, these people bought milkshakes for their long commutes to work. The milkshake wasn't about taste or texture for them. They were buying it because it kept them occupied during the boring drive, was easy to drink in the car, lasted a long time, and helped contain the 10 a.m. hunger attack. That was the job to be done. So rather than messing with the recipe, McDonald's made it easier to grab milkshakes on the go, and purposely added little chunks of fruit or chocolate that got stuck in the straw for the drivers to play with. The result was a 7-fold increase in sales. Isn't that just insane? This kind of stuff was why I wanted to do product management. Anyways, back to my point. I took an online course, having no clue what a product manager is supposed to do. Then I started applying for jobs. After 6 months of interviews and a number of rejections, I landed an associate PM position in the company I worked for my entire career, with practically no experience. I started learning on the job, and before I knew it, I became the person to answer questions in a specific domain from my team and the rest of the company. Soon, people started asking me about product management in general. By the time I resigned as a senior, I taught dozens of colleagues, friends, and people approaching me on LinkedIn how to break into product management and do a good job, mostly using the things I learned in the first half of my career. Why am I telling you all of this? Because right now, there are plenty of others out there in the same position you were in 2 years ago. They want to achieve what you've achieved. They are making the same mistakes you did and learning the hard way, not knowing where to look. They could use some help, and knowing what you know, you can absolutely help them. Here's how. Think back 2 years into the past and reflect on your progress. See how you're different, how you've grown, and what you've learned. How did you overcome your biggest challenges? How many of those were easily avoidable with someone showing you the way? Write them down, and be that someone for the others following your footsteps. Be the guide that you needed. Trust me, people will love you for it. And that's the first way to just start. The second way is a little more interesting. It has much lower barriers to entry and infinitely higher potential for growth. It's actually what I'm doing with this channel right now. Think about it. Whenever you're learning something new, there are potentially billions out there learning it at the same time as you. At any given time you're trying to achieve a goal, there are others trying to achieve it just like you. They are facing the same challenges and setbacks and feeling the same excitements as you. Sharing what you've learned with them as you learn from them will help both of you achieve whatever your shared goal is. In a sense, this is the opposite of the first way to start. Instead of thinking back into the past, you look ahead into the future and answer these 2 questions. Who do you aspire to be 2 years from now? What are you doing today to get there? If you can't answer the first question, you'll have to stop and figure that out by yourself first. You need a destination. If you can't answer the second question, here's where to start. Pick a topic that you want to learn, a topic that your ideal self in 2 years has already mastered. Curate as many articles, videos, and podcasts as you can on that topic. Learn from each of them and write your own summary. Make those ideas your own, using your words and understanding, and let it out into the world. Don't worry about scaling or making money at this point. Just focus on learning and getting a little better next time, and share it to create the absolute best value that you possibly can. You are going to build an audience, and while becoming your ideal self, easily monetize a piece of that audience. Don't forget there's a number lower than 0.5% though. At the time of making this video, I have only 10 subscribers, but I know that there are others out there, and I know that they will find this video, and I sure as hope that they will find something valuable in it, and you should do the same. Believe in yourself and show someone the ways you learn. They will show you more ways in return because they have the same goal as you. And that's the second way to just start. That's it really. Now you know how you can just start, so just go ahead and start. I'll see you on the other side.